definitely changes our routine for this week. I mean, it's, normally our guys are off on Sundays, we're here, but, so it changed our routine as well. So Saturday after the game, that was another thing, we're lucky that it was a noon game, so we had some time. We're all working Saturday night, trying to put that game to bed, get everything ready, to get an early start on Sunday. So our staff meeting was earlier, as far as my meeting with the coaches. So everything just is ramped up from a prep standpoint. And then the team came in at 3, and then we're practicing Sunday night. So very different routine, but we planned for that during camp. We know that we're going to be, this week was going to come. We did the same thing for Louisville last year, our first conference game last year, on the road, short week, Thursday night at Louisville. So it's just like Groundhog Day around here for us. So we do have some experience to draw on, which helps, I think, because we've kind of been through it before, and we say, okay, well, this was good, this wasn't good, and get better. So it's different. And then as far as the weekend, I mean, yeah, our guys, I mean, it's good. They get a couple days. I think it's great for them to have a couple days off, Friday and Saturday, and then, Sunday they get back and they got their study hall hours that they got to get in Sunday night. But it'll be a normal week for them. They'll come back in here on Monday just like we normally do, and get ready for Louisville. Hopefully they'll take advantage of a little extra time and go ahead and watch the game from Georgia Tech and maybe get ahead prior to their Monday meetings, but that's really on them for the weekend.
What kind of role do you envision for Feaster going forward? Were you obviously fairly impressed with what he showed against South Carolina State?
He did good. We were pleased with him. He's just still a work in progress, and it's just, I think all that depends on kind of the flow of the game and what happens with how guys are producing, who's hot, who's not, and I think Wayne Gallman is the we really hadn't had to grind Wayne up just yet, but he's ready to tote the load, and he certainly is our best player and has earned that. And then those other guys, the same thing. So he's just kind of working in that group, and got to take advantage of his opportunities as they come.
Coach, 25% of the season's out of the way. Outside the injury list that's been listed, how's the team physically at this point?
We're good. I mean, I think we're very fortunate, again, that especially the short week, that we were able to not play some of the guys as much this past week. I mean, for a guy like Carlos Watkins and Christian Wilkins, they played, I think, 12 snaps. That's big. Austin Bryant is obviously not with us right now, but he's trending back. We're kind of through the hump there, and he's on his way back sooner than later. We're going to get him back for the majority of the season. Renfro, that's a big loss for us, but he's going to be back sooner than later. So from that standpoint, we're in pretty good shape. Baker is getting close. Next week we're going to put him in one-on-ones. He's doing all of his cutting and everything, so he needs a couple weeks, I think, of just really some practicing. And we started doing individual last week and this week, but next week when we get a normal week, we're going to put him into the one-on-ones and maybe a little bit of some of our team stuff. So he's kind of on his way back. So we've been very fortunate at this point it's Adrian. We lost Chandler Reeves, who was a lineman that was going to redshirt, but we lost him in camp with a torn ACL, and then Adrian Dunn the other day. But we've been pretty fortunate with the majority of the team.
Of all the impressive things Brent's done over the last 4+ years, where does hold those guys at 71 yards last year?
Incredible, just incredible. I mean, I walked off the field. I knew they didn't have a lot, but there's a lot of tackles for loss and things like that come off of some of the plays the positive plays that they have. But I walked off the field, and I remember looking at the stats in the locker room. And I just couldn't. It was impressive. It was impressive. Those guys played. I mean, Shaq and Dodd and all those guys. I mean, J. Ron, everybody. TJ, they played lights out in that ball game. Really played. That's one of the best defensive performances that I've been around. I mean, it's hard to describe how hard that is to do, to hold a team down. And this is a team that's usually always in the top 5 in rushing in the country. So it was pretty impressive. And I'll sign up for that right now. If there's any way we could do that, but this bunch here is, I think they're much better than they were last year, a lot better.
You've led the nation in 3 and outs the last few years. Has that been an important part of the success that you've had against Georgia Tech? And how hard is that to do against their offense when they go for it on 4th down so often when it's 4th and short? Yeah,
it's hard. Y'all may remember when we lost to them in the championship game in '09, my first year. Neither team punted. I don't think I've ever been a part of a game like that. Neither team punted. It was just one of the most frustrating games I've ever been a part of. They couldn't stop us, and we couldn't stop them, and we just left a little too much time. And I think they went 86 yards there. And that's a tough. That's why you got to win on 1st down. You got to try to do a great job and create some 3rd and long situations. If you get in those, if you let them get rhythm and stay on schedule, and you get them in those 4th and 3s, 4th and 2s, they're going to go for it all day long. And because it's hard. It's hard to. I mean, it's hard for them not to get 2 yards or 3 yards with what they do. So you've got to dominate the line. If you don't dominate the line of scrimmage, you're in for a long night. A long night. That's the 2 things: dominating them at the line of scrimmage, and really just disrupting everything that they're trying to do. And then you have to be incredibly disciplined on the back end with your keys. You know, the calls aren't the same every time, and so, you know, if I'm a corner and I got to have my eyes. I can't get distracted by all the stuff. I've got to be. If I'm reading that wing, then that's where my eyes are, and I got to trust my key, because my key is going to tell me what I need to do. And so there's just a lot of discipline that you got to have on the back end with these guys. But, you know, I think there's no question. The main reason we've been very, very good around here is we've been a complete team. We haven't just been a good offense. We've been a good defense, a good offense. We've been a complete team. We've made a lot of plays in all 3 phases over the last, 6 years around here, and we've won a lot of games. So when you've got a defense that's top 10 in the country, and you've got a chance to be pretty successful because they're getting you the ball back, and you're getting a lot of at bats. So the 3 and outs are huge because you can't get. I mean, I've been on the other side of that. When you're having 3 outs as an offense, you can't ever really get in rhythm. And our defense has been as good as anybody in the country at that. Same thing with tackles for loss. But that all goes back to having great quality players, depth and development and teaching at the defensive line position, which we certainly have had that. And the same thing at backer.